I recently rented out my Tesla on Turo, and let's talk about it. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Anthony and welcome to my Tesla channel where I talk all about electric vehicles. In today's video, we're going to talk about what it was like renting out my Tesla Model 3 on Turo. So setting up my account was really easy because I actually already had an account from renting other vehicles on Turo. So you actually just use that same account if you already have it as your host account. If you have never used Turo before, then you will need to sign up for a Turo account. But your host account and your guest account share one login and one password. Once you set up the account, you put in your VIN number, your license plate, and you create a description, as well as guidelines and a questions and answers area. I did a lot of research on other Turo vehicles that were similar to mine and looked at their descriptions, what was working for them, and I implemented that in my description. I also took photos, and with Turo, it's very important that you take really good photos. Now, these photos that are cycling through right now are the ones that I took for my car, which I think are okay. I think they're decent, but I think I would like to shoot the car in better light and redo the photos. But this is what I had to work with for my first rental. I uploaded the photos to the listing, and as soon as I made sure everything in the listing was ready to go, I posted it and it was live on Turo. Within a couple of hours of listing the car on Turo's platform, I already had my first rental all set up and ready to go. I had automatic booking set up, so it was just booked. I saw the date that the guest was coming, the time, and when the car needed to be ready. They chose 10 a.m. on October 1st. I gave it a nice car wash. I cleaned the inside of it. I followed the Turo disinfectant protocols. So after the car was washed and the inside was clean, I had to take trip photos 24 hours before the trip started. They recommend 15 to 16 photos at least, but I did 52 photos, which was definitely overkill, but I made sure to photograph everything possible, every seat, even under the car, just to make sure that the battery looked good when it got back, because if you're not familiar, Tesla's batteries are underneath the vehicle. I was going to do a contactless pickup. Since it was my first time renting a car on Turo, and a very expensive and brand new car at that, I wanted to meet the guest and kind of gauge the situation. When the guest showed up, he was very nice. He had already been familiar with Tesla because he lived in Texas and he drove a Model Y and he just moved to Arizona. So he really knew how to drive the Model 3 and what to do. So I didn't have to do a lot of explaining. I felt like I could trust him with the car just based off of our first interaction. I will admit, it is really weird watching a total stranger drive off in your brand new car that you really don't know, and your only sense of comfort is the fact that you have insurance on the car. And yeah, it was definitely a little nerve-wracking. Now, Teslas are really cool because you can track where they are. You can tell what direction the car is facing. You can see how fast it's going. You can even see if the air conditioner is turned on. And because I have Tesla insurance on both of my Teslas, I was able to see actually how the driver was driving during the trip and what times they were driving in between, which was really cool. The only thing that the app doesn't show you is the location of where they drove the car, which I think would be a nice feature to add in the Tesla app, but it was very cool to have all this data during the trip. He drove pretty responsibly, but I did notice that he got dinged for aggressive turning, unsafe following. He had a forward collision warning. To me, it was a little jarring because in my personal vehicle, I drive very carefully to make sure that my safety score is high so that I pay a lower insurance premium every month. So it was a little jarring to see him driving like that, but honestly, most people drive really crazy out here in Phoenix, and you kind of have to with how people act out here on the roads. There was one time during the rental where he went to an EVgo charger and it was incompatible for some reason with the Model 3, and I was getting notifications about it. So I sent him a little message reminding him to use a Tesla supercharger for an easier experience, and he messaged me back and said, "Thank you, I'll go to a supercharger." That was really the only thing that I had to ask him during the trip. Now, since I felt like I could trust him, I decided for drop-off, I would do a contactless drop-off, even though I was home, just because I wanted to see how it went. I sent him a little message reminding him to make sure that he removed his personal belongings from the car. Just a nice little friendly reminder of what to do when dropping off the car. He came back to my house right on time, parked the car right out front, just like I asked him to, and did everything I said. It was actually a perfect drop-off, and as soon as he left, I went out there to inspect the car, and everything looked really good. I proceeded to take a ton of photos, for the end of the trip. I made sure to take a bunch of the same angles I took prior to releasing the car to him, and I uploaded them to the trip photo section in the app. After that, I sent him a reimbursement for the supercharging, because whenever he went to a supercharger, it would charge my credit card. So I sent him that reimbursement, which he paid, and after he paid that, he rated me 5 stars, I rated him 5 stars, and it actually was a really awesome experience and very, very easy and no nightmares like you've heard from other hosts. Now, you're probably wondering, how much money did I make? Now, keep in mind this trip was from October 1st to October 3rd. So it was really only a 2-day trip if you think about it. Overall, my earnings, they were just okay. $134 for the full rental, and obviously the renter paid more than that, but there was a fee that he had to pay that I didn't get, that Turo got, and so I earned $134 out of whatever Turo charged him. For the reimbursement, I received $30. So overall, is it worth it to rent your car on Turo? Well, that's really going to be up to you. If you are going to use it to help you make your car payments, then I think it could be a good option, especially if you're not using your car. You know that the car is insured and that you're protected, so it's a good opportunity to make some money. I definitely had a little bit of higher expectations coming into this whole situation. I thought my car would be booked back to back. Since then, I haven't received any other bookings, but I'm optimistic, and I feel like coming up there could be some new rentals. And I joined some Facebook groups where I'm able to interact with other hosts on the platform, new and experienced. Basically, from what I've heard, is a lot of people starting out on Turo with their vehicles just need to be patient. One girl wrote that for 2 weeks straight she didn't have any bookings, but then after that she started getting a ton of bookings. So it's really the Turo algorithm pushing your car to the right people, and really playing around with the description. Offering things like delivery could help boost your Turo listing. So that's what I've done, and I'm definitely going to make other videos on Turo as time goes on and let you guys know how things are going with that business. But if this video helped you out at all, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button and notification bell. That way you're updated when I create new videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.